Week 1 of Season 6 is in the books, but was I Love Lamp able to take revenge and elevate after their loss to them in the finals? And would Game Over be able to pull out another upset against Simp? We'll cover all the results from Week 1 as well as who picked the best players in the Fantasy League. It's all coming right up on Present Arms.
Welcome to Gold League Season 6.
Tankers, and welcome to Present Arms. I'm your host, Christian Bullock, aka Meadowhawk, and let's get right down to business. This season started off with the much anticipated rubber match between Elevate and I Love Lamp, and Elevate showed they are still in great form, taking the match 5-2. Game Over, back in the league after qualifiers, was looking to make the same splash in Season 5 when they defeated the then undefeated Simp. However, Simp came out very strong and showed no signs of slowing in a 5-1 victory. Noble may have underestimated the new team High Voltage Caballers and seemed a little dysfunctional at times during their 5-2 loss. The score doesn't reflect how close some of the games were though, so they only have minor adjustments to make. Team Rival got their first taste of Gold League action in what was a crazy first round for them against #RU. With both teams making mistakes throughout the match, it was #RU who used their experience to capitalize on those mistakes. After splitting Ghost down 2-2 against Synergy, Team Refuse showed that their new team has what it takes this season by sweeping the next 3 games on Mines to win that match 5-2. Then starting the second day against Maple Freedom and losing their first game, they won the next 5 games in a row to take that match 5-1. 07 and Synergy battled it out fiercely with games going back and forth until it ended in a 4-4 tie. 07 made out with the victory after a successful attack on Himmelsdorf. The next match was even more exciting as Simp took a commanding 4-1 lead over Elevate, only to watch it evaporate into a 4-4 tie after Elevate took a timeout. Elevate also took home the victory after a successful attack on Himmelsdorf. Has Himmelsdorf's reign ended as a defensive stronghold? Noble and I Love Lamp faced off looking for both their first victory this season. Noble showed that they had made those adjustments from their first round and steamrolled Lamp 5-0. Lamp isn't looking like the season 5 runners-up thus far, but they have some time to make some adjustments as they don't play on Tuesday. And the last match saw 07 playing a second time in the same night, the first doubleheader in WGLNA history as they took on #RU. They started off great by splitting the first map and then swept the second map to win 5-2. So here's how the standings currently look after Week 1. Team Refuse sits atop with 2 victories and 6 points, followed closely by Elevate and 07 who both have 5 points. Just keep in mind that many of the bottom teams still have a game in hand. Joining us now from Montreal, Quebec is the captain of first place Team Refuse, Giuliano Leroy Rohana, aka Coolhammer. Bonsoir, bienvenue à Present Arms.
Merci for the invitation. It's really a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you. So at this end of the last season, you guys had a short roster but managed to avoid relegation during the playoffs. You guys have started off this season with 2 strong, decisive victories. What changes did you guys make in the offseason?
Well, after finishing the last season with 8 players, our main focus was to rebuild the team. So we had to move out one of our old friends, Backstas, to make space for active players. After that, we recruited 3 new persons, KT, Drogon Pro, and Mort. These 3 guys didn't have any experience with the league's format, so we started practicing in order to be ready for WGLNA Season 6.
And your game against High Voltage is going to be a hard test with all their combined experience. How have you been preparing with your 3 new members?
Oh yeah, of course. This season we're taking every opponent seriously, including High Voltage. Our preparation for them won't be really different from our preparations before facing Synergy Gaming and Maple Freedom. We'll do our best and hopefully the RNG gods will be on our side. The only thing we can promise you is that our upcoming match will be electrifying.
Yeah, it should be a good match. And after 3 seasons as top tier, you decided to change things up and are now Team Refuse. Why the change?
Playing for yourself and playing for a gaming organization are two different feelings, right? So we had fun and gathered experience as top tier for 3 seasons. Now we feel ready to take it to the next level and become real professionals under our new brand, Team Refuse.
Well, best of luck to you guys in week number 2. I'll see you guys in the battle in week number 4. Bonne nuit, au revoir.
Merci again for having me on your show. I enjoyed it a lot. See you on the battlefield.
And now we'll have a look at the map breakdown for week number 1. This week there were 71 games played. Himmelsdorf was played most at 22.5%, followed closely by Mainz at 19.7%. Not surprisingly, Lakeville is an unpopular choice at only 11%. Perhaps we'll see this figure increase as people figure out the meta for it. And before we cover the Fantasy League results, it's time for the highlight of the week. It happened on the first night in game number 6 of the Rival versus #RU game. Down 3 games to 2, Rival had set up a great cap attempt on Nuremberg, and because of Rival's perfect screen, Godzilla Mode had no choice but to rush headfirst in for a reset. Driving at full speed, he had to get as close as possible because World War II Fanatic was using perfect cover. It wasn't good enough, however, as Godzilla had been watching Tokyo Drift and came screaming in and hit his reset shot in style to reset the cap while it was at 100. Half a second later, and Rival would have tied up the series 3-3 with 2 Nuremberg defenses in hand. This was definitely a Present Arms pivotal moment. Fantasy League is well underway, as almost 2,000 people competed this week. The current top 3 players are Captain Blood at 5,382 points, Canaduck at 5,260 points, and Merkel Pro at 5,172 points. The top 7 pros by points per battle are Ex-Soldier, Ant Pro, Synergy 3K, Nits, Vextrosity, Arclit, and Drogon Pro. Remember, fantasy players, that not every team plays each night, so double check those rosters before they lock at game time. This week we had Warp taking me on in Fantasy 1v1. On the first night we both fell into the Swipple trap, however I incorrectly guessed #RU starting lineup, and this gave Warp a 265 point lead heading into the second night. However, he made some crucial errors in his picks by not picking 2 07 members and instead having 2 high voltage members who didn't play. This allowed me to claw my way back and win 3,558 to 3,272. Thank you for participating, Warp. I don't want to see you go home empty-handed, so I have a T127 premium tank with garage slot, 100,000 credits, and 7 days premium headed your way. I'll be contacting you shortly. The 1v1 challenger for next week has been randomly picked, and it's Racer24524. Best of luck trying to take my gold, and remember it's cumulative points for matches in week number 2 only. And that's it for this show. Tune in next week as we'll continue to cover all of the scores, and catch all of this week's games over at battleviewer.com, and until next time, at ease.